An unfortunate event has struck the art community as Disney, the same company that proudly laughed in the face of artists, art lovers, and longtime childhood Disney fans as they announced their partnership with AI companies and proudly promoted the use of AI on the Disney Plus channel, is now metaphorically chewing their words and teetering the fine line of AI altercation and content sloppification with ByteDance, and is now suing them for using AI on official Disney characters and buffing up videos that look like this.
Wait, how did you get in through the window? Is the stairwell broken?
Relax, just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Ballerina cappuccino!
This is an apple.
This is a banana. This is a banana.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry.
ByteDance, the tech company that brought TikTok, CapCut, and other notable apps and social media platforms widely spread in China, got into the metaphorical crosshairs of Disney and inadvertently the rest of Hollywood after they released their new AI video generator Seedance, which immediately climbed the top of the charts for AI slop creators and all the AI bros alike, as they started posting several videos across Twitter, TikTok, and other video platforms, sharing AI slop animations they had made with Seedance, claiming it was finally over for Hollywood and that artists should wrap it up and throw their overly sharpened pencils away because apparently the future for AI art and animation had finally come. This was made 100% by artificial intelligence. I know it's hard to believe, but it was created with Seedance, a Chinese AI with no censorship, already released in China and coming globally in the future. Everything is extremely smooth with almost no errors. We're starting the year with a major shift in the internet as we know it. This is the future. And while artists and every other person with a brain were pointing out how bad and terrible these animations just looked to any person with a slightly trained eye, Disney had an entirely different plan up their sleeves and decided to handle the situation in a totally different way. Disney has sent a cease and desist letter to ByteDance, which accuses the company of making available a pirated library of Disney's copyrighted characters from Star Wars, Marvel, and other Disney franchises, as if Disney's coveted intellectual property were free public domain clip art. Oh wow. Now wait a damn minute, Disney. Didn't you publicly state your newfound love for artificial intelligence and are clearly using it in your new workflow?
Disney believes that AI will be an important part of our future. We're already using AI in every one of our businesses, and we believe that it will over time become an important part or important component of how our company operates.
Or am I mistaken here? Aren't you the same company who signed and invested $1 billion into OpenAI, allowing Sora to generate AI slop videos using official Disney, Marvel, and Pixar characters? Weren't you happily using AI art in the opening credits for one of your big screen movies? Why then is this such a big problem when someone else is using AI on one or more of your characters? I'm confused. On Friday, Disney sent a cease and desist letter to ByteDance accusing it of supplying Seedance with a pirated library of the studio's copyrighted characters. Disney's lawyers accused ByteDance of committing a virtual smash and grab of their intellectual property, including superheroes from Marvel, Star Wars, and various cartoons. What? Committing a virtual smash and grab is a really interesting way of framing the situation. What that means is Disney is basically suing them for stealing their characters and directly using them in their AI without explicit permission, which technically is IP theft and copyright infringement for the most part. Which is kind of funny because if the company had hypothetically asked for permission or got a license to use the characters in their AI, Disney will probably be fine with it and wouldn't be raising an eyebrow, calling them out and sending lawsuits to their doorstep. The company responded to the cease and desist saying they respect intellectual property rights and have heard the concerns regarding Seedance. Therefore, they are taking steps to strengthen current safeguards as they work to prevent the unauthorized use of intellectual property and likeness by their users. So basically, oops. But anyways, right back to what we were doing. It's quite interesting because how exactly do they intend to do that? Is there going to be a huge watermark anytime someone tries to generate an image with a Disney character? Are there going to be question marks covering the entire screen of every Disney slop AI video generated? How could they possibly prevent people from making videos with unlicensed characters? Speaking about videos, if you enjoy videos like this from a slightly above average faced YouTuber with a soothing voice, you should subscribe. I post weekly videos and talk about art, things happening in the art community, and other things of that nature. If that's something you find interesting, just hit that little subscribe button and join the family. Generated this one prompt on ByteDance. If life's a journey, I'll take this view. Also, Hollywood isn't filmmaking, creators are. Turns out you don't need a studio lot, just Wi-Fi and audacity. I guess this is going to be a long video, isn't it? These AI bros say things like AI art is the future, Hollywood isn't filmmaking, you don't need a studio, you just need Wi-Fi and audacity, and then they show you the most boring, bland AI slop video of a skater going downhill. What even are those shadows, man? Okay, ByteDance is getting out of control. The future is looking like we will be able to create our own movies, video games, and simulated worlds. But for now, slop and celebrities. I am glad an AI art enthusiast is finally calling it what it is. Slop. This is what ByteDance can generate right now. Give it 2 or 3 more years and people will be directing full movies from home and releasing them on YouTube. Just like people generate AI songs today, the future is gonna be insanely fun and creative. The thing that really grinds my teeth and tongues my twisters is how every single time these AI slop enjoyers on Twitter want to express how much they enjoy their AI slop, they always say something about this being the future and how it can replace humans, and it's so fun and creative, when obviously from everything we have seen them posting, the AI can't clearly come up with anything original without taking it off something an artist has already created or ripping off and recreating someone else's work entirely. This video of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting was one of the videos made with ByteDance that began trending on Twitter and started the conversation of AI taking over the movies from Disney and Hollywood. And without even pausing the video to scrutinize it frame by frame, I can already point out so many things that are just blatantly wrong with it and why this is no different than any other AI slop that has been released prior to this. For one, the AI can't even differentiate between both actors perfectly, and it has a hard time with their faces and keeps on breaking the 180-degree rule over and over again. The fighting looks insanely stiff, and the frame rate and movement just looks awful the more you look at it. Videos like this and many more with other popular characters from Disney movies were generated and shared on social media by different people, all claiming this is somehow new, groundbreaking innovation that will change the course of filmmaking, art, and the future moving forward.
Warner Brothers and Netflix may follow as well. And you know what? Good for Warner Brothers, good for Disney, good for Netflix, good for all these companies, because whether you like these companies, whether you hate these companies, whether you love AI, whether you hate AI, you can't just take an IP, a character, a brand that you do not own and do whatever the hell you want with it and expect there to be no consequences. Like, if you owned a character, a brand, an IP, and there was people doing whatever they want with this thing that you own, you're gonna be happy with that. You're not gonna care. Yeah, bullcrap. Again, it's not a matter on whether you like Disney or you agree what they're doing or the content they're putting out, or if you agree with them politically, or same thing with Warner Brothers, Netflix. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you don't own it, so you can't do whatever you want with it. Same way that if you own something, I and anyone else in the world shouldn't be allowed to do what we want with it.
Right now, there are so many different videos circulating the internet showing these characters either fighting themselves or other different characters, or recreating entire scenes and adding different characters into them, trying to make them funny, or just to get a reaction out of people on Twitter, saying the AI does animation better than actual living animators and can potentially put artists and animators out of business in a few years once the AI gets quote-unquote better. Which is such a silly thing to say, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that can see just how wonky and janky most of these animations look and how full of stutters these AI slop animations are filled with. which is why there's no possible way AI can make an actually good animation or movie without having to steal it off of an already made movie or animation, or copy keyframes from entire fight sequences from animations that already exist. Everyone in the comments were all making fun of these so-called AI bros and their tweets, saying they were only embarrassing themselves because of how blind they were that they couldn't see these animations were all awful. If the only thing you can think to create with all these tools requires someone else's characters, you're not a creator. You're a child playing with action figures in a digital sandbox. Typing words at an AI to plagiarize something that already exists for you with your half-assed prompts does not make you a creator. There was no human artistic effort here, no teamwork between actors, artists, and writers. So, no future because there's not even a present. While most people argued back and forth with people posting these slop videos of AI Disney characters trying to hammer in the metaphorical nail of wisdom into their super thick skulls, another company also sent another cease and desist to ByteDance over the misuse of their intellectual property, saying it was a breach of copyright laws and was blatantly copyright infringement. Sean Austin, who you'll probably know as Samwise Gamgee from the classic trilogy Lord of the Rings, also went after ByteDance as the president of the Screen Actors Guild after an AI video of him in a Lord of the Rings scene made with Seedance went viral. In the article on Variety, the guild called out ByteDance, saying the infringement of copyright included the unauthorized use of their members' voices and likenesses, which is unacceptable and undercuts the ability of human talents to earn a livelihood. Seedance disregards laws, ethics, industry standards, and basic principles of consent. Responsible AI development demands responsibility, and that is non-existent here. Heck, even Sony didn't want to miss out in all the fun and joined in with other studios, sending yet another cease and desist to ByteDance after several videos of characters from the Breaking Bad universe and other IPs from Sony were turned into AI slop and pushed into the algorithm.
You think you're in control. Control? You're not.
So far, almost every top studio has sent out a cease and desist to ByteDance, and they don't seem to be finding the slopification of their characters funny at all. Sony even explicitly stated they will not tolerate any delayed or half-baked measures, no half measures, and we're immediately waiting for confirmation from the company that the use of their characters and likeness and any other characters will be removed and pulled down from their AI model. Disney is known to be protective of its intellectual property that spans many successful franchises created over decades. Disney also sent a similar cease and desist letter to Google last December, alleging that the tech giant infringed on its copyrights, which then prompted Google to restrict Gemini and Nano Banana from generating Disney copyrighted content. Disney has apparently also sent a cease and desist letter to Midjourney for generating endless unauthorized copies of their copyrighted work, and from the looks of it, every single AI generative model that has or is going to have characters from Disney or other top studios is possibly going to stand the chance to win themselves an honorary cease and desist letter with the way things seem to be going. But the problem is, all of this seems really confusing and hypocritical, especially on the part of Disney, because as we all know, Disney seems to have a definite stance on their use of AI and are already in a 3-year license with Sora to allow users to generate short-form videos for social media with most of, if not every single licensed Disney character. And aside from that, Disney is investing into OpenAI and is on track to become a major customer of OpenAI, using its APIs to build new products, tools, and experiences, including Disney Plus, which just seems to me like it's kinda okay to use Disney characters to train AI models as long as you have a license and an agreement with Disney. But anything outside of that, then you're in super big trouble. Unfortunately, I think Disney's strategy here is to go after infringing outputs only. They don't care if AI trains on their IP because they can use it, they just don't want anyone else to use it. But if they went after the training stage, they'd neuter their new profit maker. I thought Disney wants to go all in on AI. Not so funny when they're on the receiving end now, is it? I was waiting for this. It is right for Disney to sue these AI companies and creators, but sadly, it won't stop millions of others from creating quadrillions of movies using their IPs. You cannot stop this technology. This is why my view is that only original human art will have value over time. And it's why all creators should make art free of AI and sell licenses and royalties around it, or watch the value go to zero in the future infinite AI derivative world that is coming. A Disney that invested money and wants to use AI is hating on another company that uses AI. Just burn AI.
With AI like this, it gets super sketchy because you're not just talking about like bringing like a cartoon to life with like, you know, a random voice. Like you're talking about real people, Henry Cavill, freaking Hugh Jackman, like manipulating, recreating their voices, like making these people who are real say things like, no, this is getting sketchy, dude. AI is getting a little too crazy. Now look, I'm not saying that these AI creations aren't fun to watch, to see things we would never see. Hugh Jackman Wolverine against Henry Cavill Superman. Sure. But what I am saying is we can't get mad at the companies when they're like, yeah, all done though. But also, I prefer real freaking art that's made by real actors, VFX artists, comic book artists, real writers, not just freaking prompts that are typed into a freaking laptop or smartphone. But while AI is a very useful tool and it creates fun stuff like this, real art comes from actual human beings, real creativity, real imagination, real talent, real life experiences. That is the only way we get what we call art.
Right now, there are so many people still actively using ByteDance to generate more slop and post on Twitter, and the company has said they're going to possibly find a way to disable the ability to generate Disney characters for their users, but we just have to wait and see if that is actually going to happen, or they're just calling bluff and really wouldn't do anything about it. This lukewarm situation with Disney and their stance of what use of AI with their characters is fair and what is copyright infringement is creating a rather interesting debate on the internet, with most people clearly calling out Disney to put their foot down and close the lid on every use of generative AI, including their collaboration with Sora, since it just makes other companies believe they could still get away with using their licensed copyright characters despite breaking copyright protection laws. But terminating any use of AI, legal or illegal, puts an end to all of this. Some other people are making posts saying Disney is just afraid the East is rising and their AI companies are slowly going to shift the dynamic for Hollywood in the future, which could potentially destroy the entertainment industry, which is possibly why Disney and other studios are trying to silence them and control what they can and cannot create and which IPs they can use in their AI models. Now, I really can't see this happening regardless of the use of AI or not, because for the longest time Hollywood has clearly existed alongside other entertainment and film industries, and just because a few companies start allowing their users to generate videos using IPs from Hollywood doesn't necessarily mean the future is entirely ruined for the most part. So far, it's obvious Disney is now seeing the repercussions of casually adopting AI generative media and partnering with companies to promote the use of AI with their characters. And at this point, it might be safe to say this was an entirely bad idea from the get-go, and everyone will have been better off if AI art and every other form of AI generative media is kicked aside to the curb, left to dry out in the sun, dying of thirst and evaporating from heat. But what do I know? Alas, I'm just an artist casually drawing on the internet and making videos, and has no idea what the future holds for AI art. Well, it looks like you've made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share it with a friend who also thinks Disney made a mistake using AI, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.